That's my 10 through 6. My top 5, Georgia, Indiana, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. Oh, Texas. I don't know. I can't read it. I have trouble with names. Y'all already know that. So I can't read that number 2. It's fitting that they're number 2. I don't know. It's just what I'm looking at. I think Notre Dame is the number 1 team in the country going into it. I think Carr made massive strides last year from week 1 through. He only going to get better. They did lose running backs, but I don't think Notre Dame's going to struggle to find somebody to run the ball. I think the receivers are going to be better this year, and that defense is going to be good. You've got probably the best cornerback, shutdown corner in college football, in my mind. Texas, number 2. Texas got all the talent in the world. Can they put it together? Can they stay healthy? Can the offensive line for Texas be better? They got Cam Coleman out of the portal. Okay, number 1 receiver. That's good. Wingo's got to step up. He can't be dropping 12 passes a year. Sorry. Offensive line, like I said. And I'm curious what the defense is going to do. The linebacking room is super strong. I have no issues there. And the D line's going to be pretty good itself. So Texas has no issue. If Texas struggles this year, there are going to be some serious Sarkisian questions. This should be Texas's. Not saying they're going to win the national title, not saying they're going to make the championship game. But if Texas does not make the playoffs this year, Sarkisian is going to be run out of Austin with this roster. Ohio State, to me, Ohio State needs to be top 5 damn near every year. Super talented roster, super talented team. Losing a bunch, but it's Ohio State. They're going to reload like all your bigger programs do. Indiana, I've got them 4 for the Cignetti factor. I think they're losing a lot. I know it's got to be kind of a retool. I trust Cignetti to retool it, so I've got them 4. I agree with what all y'all said about they should, to be the man, you got to beat the man, starting number 1. I don't think this era of college football is different. I need to see what he can do with a roster that he doesn't have coming from his old school. Georgia, number 5, to me, Georgia, Texas are the 2 big dogs in the SEC right now. I think Kirby Smart just has built the reputation as a coach that he deserves to be top 5 until proven otherwise. So there's my top 5. All 3 of y'all should be happy. I got all 3 of y'all schools in the top 5. Look at that. Y'all all kept me outside of the top 5. Here I am being nice to y'all. That's all right. I get it.
No, listen, I would not be surprised if Marcel Reed takes a step forward. Texas A&M is right where they were last season, top 5 team.
We can say that about a bunch of these teams. Underwood up in Michigan. Yep. We could say it about a bunch of them. So it's justifiable. I didn't even put them in the top 5. So probably because I didn't want to be a homer and get called that by Zay. Robert, number 5 through 1.
At number 5, I had my Texas Longhorns. At 4, I had Ohio State. At 3, I had Georgia. At 2, I had Notre Dame. And at 1, I had Oregon. I feel like Oregon, bringing back their front 4, is going to be a really, really good team, along with the quarterback, especially if they get those receivers back healthy. I think Oregon is going to be a really, really good football team. So I put them at number 1. I put Notre Dame at 2 because I feel like they're returning a lot of really, really good talent on that team. And their defense is probably going to start the season much better than they started last season. So I think Notre Dame is going to be a really, really tough team to beat. I got Georgia at 3 simply because Kirby Smart will have those guys ready to play. They'll be really, really dynamic. down the stretch, if they can stay healthy, I think they're going to still be the team to beat in the SEC. At number 4, I got Ohio State. I feel like that team, we have to wait and see how those players who are replacing some of the players that they lost, how they gel. Otherwise, I would have put Ohio State higher. I just don't know. I know they're going to be good. I just don't know if those players that are filling in for those juggernauts that they lost are going to be able to catch on right quick, fast, and in a hurry at the start of the season. And I got Texas at 5. I really feel like they're probably got some questions on their team that these other 4 teams ahead of them don't have. We don't know what Texas secondary is going to look like. We know that their front 7 is going to be really good, but we don't know what the back end is going to look like and the wide receiver, the corners. And offensively, we don't know if the offensive line is going to fix the issues that they had because they were not able to run the football last year. If they don't get that issue fixed, even though I think they're good everywhere else, the key though is their offensive line, and I wasn't 100% sure what they're going to look like. Even though 3 of their starters will be back next year, hopefully those guys can start off on a high note and can be really, really good.
My question here is Texas behind Georgia because Sark has a Kirby problem? I mean, is that really why? Because Georgia seems to have Texas's number. Is that why you have it like
facts. That is facts.
I mean, Georgia they own the SEC.
They own the SEC, yeah. I mean, I couldn't justify that. I mean, I could have put Georgia at 4 and put Ohio State at 3 or anywhere in there. But I could not put anybody in the SEC ahead of Georgia.
I just think Texas's roster is more talented than Georgia's. So I was curious as to why you had them behind it, and I thought that might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it was a few more talented rosters than Georgia last year. You can't teach that DNA, though.
It's the Kirby Smart factor.
So, Rob, let me ask you a question. Do you, and I'm not saying this is going to affect them, but I just want to get your thoughts on it. Do you believe Oregon losing both their offensive and defensive coordinator is going to have any effect on them?
Oh, it's definitely going to have an effect on them at the beginning of the season. I believe it's going to have an effect on them. But I think by mid-season they'll be okay. Because Dan Lanning is going to make sure that he hires the right guys to do what they need to do in the coaching on offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. So they're going to be fine there. It's just, can those players get up to speed? Because they're inheriting some really, really talented football players. And I think the fact that these guys are older players is going to help those coordinators out a lot.
All right. Moving on down. Post game, 5 through 1.
Yeah, so I got Miami at 5, Georgia at 4, Ohio State 3, Texas 2, and the Fighting Irish at 1. So 5 at Miami. I'm just blown away at the prospect of having Mensa because I think he's way better than Beck. So I'm kind of blown away at the prospect of seeing Mensa with Tony, and I think Zay spoke on the transfer from Duke at wide receiver to give him that camaraderie to start off. But I know they lost those bookends, but Jason Taylor is there. He knows how to, if he don't know nothing else, he know how to get after a quarterback. So I'm really high on Miami this season. I think they're going to be a scary team. Georgia, Kirby Smart, I think he wants to get back in that championship race, man. I know they've been a perennial playoff team, but he hasn't won a championship in a few years now. I think he's going to be hungry. Gunnar Stockton, I'm not a huge fan of, but I think having another year on his belt and getting that season, and I think he's probably going to have a decent season. Ohio State, I mean, Ohio State, man, you got Sayan and Smith and that running back, and they always reload and retool. Really, 1 through 3, 1 through 5, you can mix and match however you want it. But for me, I'm gonna go with Ohio State 3, Texas at 2. I felt like Arch Manning started to get it towards the latter part of the season, and he started to click a little bit. And he was making plays. He didn't look as gun shy. So hopefully they're able to build off that momentum. I know they got a lot of key additions in the portal. I know Texas fans are excited. I know Rob's excited. I believe he's tempering his expectations, but I know he's excited. But I really love what Texas was able to do, and we'll see what kind of season they're able to have. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. No, I'm not being biased. If this roster was Miami, I would have Miami 1. I just love what Notre Dame did in the offseason. The transfer portal, after hearing fans cry for a week, they just came out of nowhere and just had a hell of a portal. Getting Francis Brew from Pittsburgh is going to be huge. Getting Tione from Oregon, what a huge human being that is. Getting the cornerback from Colorado, who Coach Prime spoke really high about, to pair him with our corners that we have on our squad, that's going to be I thought we had an elite secondary. Now it's just on a whole nother level, but that secondary is going to be dangerous. Linebackers dangerous. Defensive line dangerous. Getting Keon Keeley from Alabama. And then you're able to build on the first year starting success of CJ Carr. Of course, we're not going to be able to replace the running back room, but Notre Dame has a good stable of running backs. They ain't going to be Love or our backup running back, but they're going to be solid. And plus, I think they're going to lean on the pass a little bit more this season. But I love the roster at Notre Dame. I think they got a chip on their shoulder. Marcus Freeman had those guys prepared. Love the all-season moves.
Nothing for me. Drop down in here to Zay. Top 5 right here.
Oh, I was saying that was a good breakdown. It wasn't really no questions left. He
said it all.
Yeah. But 5, Texas, outstanding portal haul. Raleigh Brown, Hollywood Smothers. They got the boy Melvin Siani from Wake Forest, who's probably going to come in and start right tackle for them. They could move probably Brandon Baker into the guard position, where I think he fits a little better. They got them other 3 returning starters. Now it's just about developing. And I think, Sean, you said it, man. Arch Manning just looked like he stopped caring at the end of the year, towards the end of the year. He just started slinging the ball, just letting it play. You feel me? It's the same sport he's been playing all his life. So I think any one of these teams right here can win it all coming into the year. 4, I went Notre Dame. The only pause for trepidation I got for Notre Dame is I felt like Jeremiah Love was so key to their offense, and to switch the style and lean a little more pass heavy, which I also think y'all will do. I gotta see it first. I just want to see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them people. I want to see it first. Even though y'all did get one of our monsters, Quincy Porter, who I think is the best receiver in that room. Even knowing that y'all still got Great House, the other boy, and then Mylan Graham as well. And y'all got a couple other dudes over there that I like as well. And I think this is Notre Dame also got the best cornerback duo in the country. Only team that's going to rival them is my number 1 team, and I get to them. At 3, I got Ohio State. Listen, we reload. We lost a lot. We lost more off this team than we did the national championship team on defense. Just because a lot of those guys that we lost from the national championship team was like third and fourth round picks. We're losing bona fide first and second round dudes that it's just going to be tough to replace. I do think, though, we did well in the portal. I expect my secondary to take a small step back. It was a good retention to get Kenyatta Jackson to come back. I think the blow from losing Caden Curry and Cade McDonald will simmer down a little bit with that retention. But we got some guys that out of the portal that we need to see. The boy John Smith from UCF. I don't know yet. I gotta see him. I ain't really did no film study on him, so waiting to see that. Arthur Smith hire. I don't know how I feel about that because I didn't think we played well in 13 personnel last year. But I'm gonna trust Ryan Day. I keep saying it. When he hires somebody, I gotta stop questioning him because he don't miss. 2, I got Georgia, Stockton. I like the Isaiah Cannon pickup from Georgia Tech receiver. You pair him with Luke Humphreys. I think they can develop a couple more guys in that position room. You return both your running backs, was very key for them, Frazier and Chauncey. But this is the same Georgia team. Somebody gonna have to dethrone them before I let it go, and that's just how it's gonna go for me. Oregon, I heard post game mention the worry about the OC and the DC being replaced. I don't have as much worry because the OC was the co-OC for 4 years, and then the DC was a co-DC for 3 years. So they just promoted within. I don't think they really miss a beat. They're teaching all the same stuff. They get Evan Stewart back to pair with DeCorian Moore. They got running backs. They got linemen. They got everything on their team. And like Rob said, they return their front four on defense. And then I think Finney Jr. was probably one of the best, if not the best, freshman cornerback in the country last year. You pair him with Naeem Offord, and that's just a nice tandem. Both of them was freshmen. Finney played a little more than Offord, but Offord, when he was on the field, I thought he played well as well. So they just got 5-star dudes everywhere across the board, just like Notre Dame and Ohio.St. and Texas. All these teams in this group, for me, all got the same rosters. Like you splitting hairs. Now it's just coming down to who's going to execute and who's going, who's going to just take it there. So I like all these teams and their chances to win it and take it all this year.
Yeah, no arguments there.